truth is, everything in YouTube is very simple, but the simplest thing is difficult. If we want to be unstoppable and have an unstoppable mindset, we actually have to guard our minds. We need to guard our hearts. We need to protect our focus. The key is that even if you have these big wins, that yes, you celebrate, yes, you enjoy it, but how quickly do you get back to baseline and get back to work? There's one thing that all content creators and business owners have in common, and that is that they face discouragement on the journey. It's hard to start a YouTube channel. It's hard to start a business. It's hard to spend your extra time after your 9 to 5 building a side hustle. So how do you ultimately build an unstoppable mindset and mental toughness that can crash through quitting points? Well, in this episode, I'm going to be sharing 3 proven principles for becoming an unstoppable content creator in our series where we're learning from military strategists like General Karl von Clausewitz. Being unstoppable means you refuse to quit. It means you are ready to adapt and pivot in the midst of changing economic and cultural conditions. It's mental toughness that is able to show up and get results even if there is drama all around you from friends, family, and colleagues. It's resilience, grit, and staying cool under pressure. And so what lessons can we learn from the general today when it comes to being unstoppable? Number 1, focus your energy and resources. Here's the quote. "The talent of the strategist is to identify the decisive point and to concentrate everything on it, removing forces from secondary fronts and ignoring lesser objectives." General Clausewitz would encourage us to avoid distractions at all costs. One of my favorite Bible verses is, above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. If we want to be unstoppable and have an unstoppable mindset, we actually have to guard our minds. We need to guard our hearts. We need to protect our focus. And so the talented strategist, when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to building an online business, is going to focus their energy, figure out what battles should they be fighting and what battles should they be avoiding. When you know your right battles and you have a clear vision, that's where you want to concentrate your energy. But what I love about this quote is removing forces from secondary fronts. Is there arguments you're in that are a waste of your time and that are stealing your emotional strength? Are you getting stuck on Facebook debating with friends or family members or strangers about politics in unwinnable battles? Are you investing energy in lesser objectives? Are you ignoring the more important objectives? If you want to be unstoppable, focus your energy and resources on the right things. Number 2, stay stoic. Here's the quote from the general. "A strong character is one that will not be unbalanced by the most powerful emotions." You know, a lot of these things are easier said than done. And I don't know about you, but depending on what challenges and setbacks come in a day, depends on maybe the emotions that you feel that can knock you off track. Have you ever been seeing red in anger? Have you ever been feeling like there's a 1,000,000-pound weight on your chest or your shoulders because you're discouraged? The truth is, all of us as content creators, to varying degrees, experience powerful emotions. If you start a business, you start a YouTube channel, you're going to face all kinds of powerful emotions. Discouragement, setbacks, wanting to quit, anger, rage, could be jealousy, could be envy, could be very powerful emotions. Peak emotions of excitement, of love, of feeling joy, of feeling happiness. But the lesson that we learn as it pertains to creating content on YouTube is not getting unbalanced by the high emotions or the low emotions, and that ultimately we should stay stoic. This reminds me of a book I was reading recently called Attributes. It's actually written by a Navy SEAL. I highly recommend it, and we'll link that one up in the show notes, as well as the book on war that we've been covering in this series. It's pretty crazy, but if you want to check it out, you can always check out these resources in the show notes. But in this book on attributes, one of the chapters was about resilience. Now, I'd heard the word resilience a lot. I kind of just thought it meant like don't quit. It just meant like you're really gritty, you just don't quit, you keep going. But the actual definition of resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. It's the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape. Elasticity. That's the dictionary definition. And the way the author of the book Attributes explained it was he said, if you have this strong character, resilience is if you're on a high, you just got that, plaque on YouTube. Maybe you just hit a record. You got your first 1,000 subscribers. Maybe you got the silver plaque in the mail. You hit 100,000. You just got monetized. You maybe just had a viral video. You're on some peak emotion. Maybe you not only are doing well on YouTube, but you came home and like your spouse, your partner's pumped and like they were super encouraging. You just been like hitting gold. It's just, you're on some momentum. The key is that even if you have these big wins that yes, you celebrate, yes, you enjoy it, but how quickly do you get back to baseline and get back to work? Elasticity, back to not letting success go to your head, not letting success make you prideful, make your ego inflated, and maybe make you feel entitled to the victory that you just won. We've learned that yesterday's home runs do not win today's games. So resilience is even on a high, how quickly do you get back to baseline? And then similarly, we've all been there where maybe it's like the last 10 videos just haven't hit. The YouTube channel ad revenue's down, the views are down, your business is down. And then maybe you're experiencing some chronic pain, you're facing a health challenge, you're facing some struggles with some aging parents. You're just in a season of intense challenge. How quickly can you get back to baseline? Acknowledging those emotions, processing them, praying through them, getting planted in church, being in counseling, like doing all the things. But as a leader, you still have to show up and get results. As a leader, you may get some horrible news right before you have to step on stage or step on camera and actually deliver. So ultimately, resilience as an attribute becomes one of those critical components of staying consistent through every season, the highs and the lows, staying stoic. A strong character is one that will not be unbalanced by the most powerful of emotions, either high or low. Number 3, do hard things. Here's the quote from the general. Everything in war is very simple, but the simplest thing is difficult. Whew. This is good for us as YouTube content creators because at the end of the day, if you've been a part of the Think Media podcast for any length of time, I know a lot of our Video Ranking Academy members listen to this podcast every week. And if you're here with me in this moment, you probably know a lot of the next steps you need to do. Like I realize like there's still other strategies, you're still working it out, but you know that you need to go post that next video. You know that you need to sit down and maybe study design for a while, like learn how to actually use Canva and maybe take a Skillshare course or join one of our programs, get our YouTube starter kit and like actually like level up your thumbnail game. Like you know the simple things you need to do. The truth is everything in YouTube is very simple, but the simplest thing is difficult. Friend, this is your reminder to do hard things. The best way to start a YouTube channel is to actually start your YouTube channel. The best way to create momentum this month on YouTube is to go shoot your next video, get it edited, get it uploaded, and then multiply how many uploads you're gonna do. The best way to get some momentum on your channel is to sit down and get clear on your goals again, and then do the hard work of following through on your goals. A lot of information is flowing on the interwebs these days. All kinds of information is out there and the information is good and the strategies are important. But you and I both know that ultimately even the simple things are hard because it comes down to implementation, not just information. There's a famous quote that says success is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. It's the sweat. It's the getting up and being like, crap, my back hurts and I don't really feel like filming today, but figuring it out, getting up and filming the videos. It's about getting up and doing the work that it takes to learn these skills, to study your marketplace, to study your niche or your competitors and do some competitive analysis, take those insights and then apply them to your content. It's about doing the hard work of doing the things you don't want to do in your business, like setting it up properly and eventually incorporating into an LLC and getting your books right and actually tracking your numbers and doing some stuff that you don't want to do. Why? because it's hard, but you got to do hard things. Everything in YouTube is very simple, but the simplest thing is difficult. And so those are 3 proven principles for becoming unstoppable as a content creator. And if you actually want some more help building some momentum on YouTube right now, especially because you may feel like, okay, I'm kind of feeling pumped and charged and I want to get to work, but I want to get to work smart. We actually have a free on-demand class at thinkmasterclass.com that will help you not just approach YouTube with random energy and effort, but to put together a real strategy. I love this military strategist series that we're doing because strategy is everything. It's not just about haste makes mistakes and running into the battlefield with no plan. It's like, let's sit down and actually make a plan so that you can have confidence and energy as you take massive action. So if you want to watch that on demand, it's free at thinkmasterclass.com. I break down the one strategy we're using at Think Media right now that's actually generating around 350,000 views a day, even if we don't upload new videos. I'll show you how we do it step by step. You can check that out and I'll link that up in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this series, check out part 1 and 2. We'll put the whole playlist and links to the past episode in the show notes. Like, rate, and review the podcast wherever you watch or listen. I appreciate you so much. Want to send you love and respect today, and I can't wait to connect with you in a future episode.